Hello, hello, Hassan. Hello, guys. This is the Set Economist back for another update. It is Thursday, the 1st of February, 2024. The Bitcoin price in US dollars is right now 42,537. Block height is 828,379. Current hash date at the moment is 522 exahash. That's really high. Mempool containing about 240,000 transactions. And the amount of days towards the halving is just exactly 80 days before the Bitcoin block subsidy will be cut in half. Yeah, those are the Bitcoin stats of the moment. Today I got a very interesting article from Bitcoin Magazine. I just saw this and I'm like, I need to share this one with you guys because there's something going on in China. This is an article from Bitcoin Magazine. China emerging as surprising source of Bitcoin demand. Let's dive into this one. Chinese investors are in panic mode as their stock market crashes. Some are turning to Bitcoin's store of value and exciting investment theses. Um, let's see. Let's see. Last week, a massive buying pressure of is coming to since the last week. A massive buying pressure is coming towards Bitcoin in China. Many people, what is happening in China is that the stock markets are showing a downward trend. There are some things going on in there. As we already know, the Bitcoin ETFs from MicroStrategy, uh, the Bitcoin ETFs, MicroStrategy issuing more shares to buy more Bitcoin, Tether's constant buying, and the upcoming halvening will all be major sources for demand for this cycle. For example, in the first 2 weeks of trading alone, the newborn 9 accumulated ETFs have already bought 125,000 Bitcoin. That's in 2 weeks. That has so far been the offset of the GBTC outflows, but it's unlikely that all GBTC holders are captive sellers to get out of this fund ASAP. Um, at some point, this outflow of GTPC into GTPC fund will come to a drought, will come to an end. And then what will happen? We expect to see a spiking of the price because on a daily basis until the halvening, there's about 900 Bitcoin uh, coming on the market from Bitcoin issuance from the network. And after the halvening, this amount will be cut in half. There will only be about 250 Bitcoin, let's say, that's exempt from the transaction fees. A somewhat unexpected development is emerging in China, of all places. Um, we see that on Bitcoin markets are surging right now. Um, there's a experience. What is happening? China is experiencing an end of an economic model transition. The China we have grown to know was built on debt producing goods for over indebted foreign customers. They are heavily dependent on globalization and a highly elastic monetary environment. That era is coming to an end in China. And the crash of the Chinese real estate markets, and that's been going on for quite a while. And now the stock markets are visible signs of the end of this era. In this article, they show a chart of the Chinese stock index. dropping from all-time highs in 2000 in last year, and dropping more than 60%. On January the 24th, Chinese asset management company, a gigantic fund manager and ETF provider in China, halted trading on Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 ETFs to stop the flood of money going out of these funds and into US connected funds. On Tuesday, other US connected ETFs on the Chinese markets opened limited up and had a 20% premium all overnight. The flight to safety is also affecting Chinese based Japanese ETFs. Tuesday saw Chinese AMC Nomura Nikkei 2225 ETF rise over 6%, from 6% to a 20% premium. That means that people who invested in Chinese stock ETFs are exiting the Chinese market. Chinese investors are in full on panic mode, and the authorities are trying to close the door. It's only a matter of time until more Chinese investors will start switching to Bitcoin as a store of value. Um, Probably. Many Chinese are already familiar with Bitcoin. China used to be a dominant source of demand for Bitcoin until the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, banned it in 2021. While Bitcoin is still officially banned in mainland China, investors can still use exchanges like Binance and OKX. They can also buy over the counter OTC person to person or via an offshore bank account. Last year, Hong Kong very publicly opened back up to Bitcoin. They have been following the lockstep behind US regulations, giving Bitcoin an official blessing in Hong Kong. It's unlikely that Hong Kong authorities would make such a public push for legalizing Bitcoin only to turn around the next year to ban it. This morning, a piece of Reuters quotes a senior executive of a Hong Kong based Bitcoin exchange who confirmed that his capital flight story. So he confirms that there's a lot of money flowing out of the financial system towards Bitcoin and other cryptos. Investment on the mainland is risky, uncertain, and disappointing, so people are looking to allocate assets offshore. Almost every day, we see mainland investors coming into his market. The source added, if you are a Chinese brokerage facing a sluggish stock market, weak demands for IPOs, and shrinkage in other businesses, you need a growth story to tell your shareholders abroad. We have been talking about Bitcoin providing a parallel world of green shoots, and now it's being recognized everywhere. The flows from China will be a big source of demand in this cycle, and the approval of the spot ETFs in the US will create a perfect synergy via sophisticated foreign investments for allowing them to buy Bitcoin and US based assets at the same time. We cannot forget about the altering European markets at this moment. Europe is likely already in a recession. By last December, European factory activity has contracted, so has receded for 18 straight months in Germany. So that means that Germany is almost in a technical recession. Despite the 2023 gross domestic product being negative for 0.2%. The relative attractiveness of Bitcoin is very high in a world of capital flight and negative growth. Many Bitcoiners are worried about a recession bringing a stock market crash, which would force selling of Bitcoin like it did in March 2020. But it might be the opposite this time around. as investors realize that the old system is stagnant and decaying. Bitcoin's unique convergence of properties as a revolutionary tech and a fixed supply set and economic growth potential will be where the capital flows to. An update on the price. Bitcoin price performance has been disappointing since the ETF launch, so it doubled around between 40 and 45,000 most of the time. However, in context of the FTX receivership selling a billion worth of GBTC and other large entities selling GBTC to rotate into lower capital fees funds of those new ETFs, the price of Bitcoin is quite stable. RSI is one of the most widely used indicator, as such as a Schelling point effect. People and bots are watching for the daily RSI to hit oversold. Therefore, it's likely we won't see any significant upside in the price until an RSI of 30 is broken. That can be achieved by one or more sell-off into support. Since we are close to 30 already, a more likely possibility is we could form a hidden bullish divergence, where the price makes slightly lower highs and lower lows, but the RSE makes lower lows. I don't expect. Now that's the thing about the technical supports. Continuing this article, this writer talks about the 100-day moving average typically does not provide much support in Bitcoin, but the 50 or 200-day moving average are the most influential. Okay. Bottom line, they're seeing a massive inflow of new sources and demand of Bitcoin from the ETF. And now, on top of that, the China capital flight. The ETF launch dynamics have been complicated, but price has been quite stable. It's only a matter of time until the right price of Bitcoin will show. So that's the update from this article for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like and share if you like this content, and I will bring you back another update very soon. Thank you very much, and have a great 1st of February 2024. Bye bye.